So I wrote a few words last night. I was thinking about, I think about what are the most important things to communicate these days. And I realized I wanted to talk about grounding. When I first began meditating, I couldn't follow my breath for very long before I was whipped up into some kind of emotional turmoil. And that went on for many years, actually. The breath just wasn't a firm enough anchor for my emotions. So over time and through practice, I came to the realization that the breath occurred in a location. It occurred in the body. And that the body, in turn, also was in a location on Mother Earth. Mother Earth. And I began to use this awareness to tether attention to the present moment, to the only place where these emotions can safely be released, in the body. So this experience of grounding, of landing on the earth, gives emotions an exit strategy. So one can it can leave through the breath itself, or the emotions can leave through the settling down of the body onto the ground. And since emotions are running high right now, for most of us, I thought it was a good idea to talk about this practice of grounding and to explore that a little bit today. When we get caught up in emotions, we get pulled off center. They take us down dark alleys, they take us into scary places, they take us for a ride. Emotions unseat us, they unground us. And the mind scrambles and it dodges and it tries to manage the upsurge of energy that's happening. But there's no ground to be found there. The ground we seek is literally underneath our feet. We're standing on it. And it is this ground that we want to come back to find stability and allow the release of the emotions. Grounding is a safety practice. It's commonly used in psychotherapy, especially when working with folks who have trauma in their history. Many of us have trauma in our history, whether we know that or not. And what we are experiencing right now will be, for many people, traumatic. I was speaking to someone just yesterday who has lost 2 people in Spain, 2 dear friends from this. It's personal, it's up close. So therefore, grounding as a practical skill, it's useful to cultivate so that we can meet the stress that's really coming at us, because you never know what you're going to encounter. Grounding brings us back to the present moment, and it places us squarely in these bodies, where the currents of emotion can be released viscerally, somatically. We feel it. We feel when we let go. We feel when we can breathe a bit more easily and the body feels more comfortable where it's sitting. The body lives in the here now. The mind, however, is a time traveler. It travels into the future, it travels into the past. The body lives here. And we want to learn to tether the mind to the body and the body to the ground. This is how we learn to live in the present moment. This is why it's such a practical skill for daily living and for our meditation. Feeling terra firma underneath us, sensing that, tells the body in its own language that it's safe to let go of its weight and it's safe to let go of the burdens that it's been holding on to. Once that signal of basic safety is registered, it will relax its vigilance, but not a moment before. In order for us to make reasonable choices right now, we have to learn how to get our bearings, learn how to feel the earth underneath our feet, take a stand, find our seat, then we can reestablish enough presence of mind to consider our options and to wisely consider how to relate to whatever is happening before us. So let's make use of these bodies. They are a firmer anchor for attention than the ephemeral breath. And they are lightning rods to ground the live wire of our emotions and give them an exit strategy for release. So I think that's all I'd like to say for this morning.